Good afternoon. This is Cub Reporter Ken Cordero coming to you live out of Middletown, Rhode Island, in the United States of America. The date today is March 6, 2014 AD, which means in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ. My email address is kencordero@americanonline.com. I'm being sponsored today by 2400 Degrees F, Murano Glass Jewelry and Collectibles out of Mystic, Connecticut. Their number is 1-860-463-4631. Also from Newport, A1 Car Cabin Van Services. Their number is 401-841-0411. And from West Main Road, Jim's Pizza Plus. Their number is 401-619-2704. The first thing I'd like to talk about today is our president, who I believe was the other day. He was giving a speech at an elementary school, because these are the only people that will listen to him now. Little kids. The Chinese won't listen to him. The Russians won't listen to him. The North Koreans won't listen to him. But little kids will listen to him. He was trying to say how if you're rich and you save your money, there's something wrong with you. You just had another socialist agenda, wanting to take their money. Why can't these people just leave the rich alone? I'm not rich. In fact, I'm the working poor. I have to get up every day and go to work, and I'm almost like 50 years old. So what? People work. I don't want to demonize the rich. Let the rich keep their money. How's that? How's that, Mr. President? The rich can keep their money and we can shrink government. How's that, Mr. President? Okay. Now, from our local paper, the Daily News, a couple of days ago, survey gives Middletown Police high ratings. They said they sent out this survey for the Middletown Police. I mean, I never got it, but this is what it says. According to the results made public during a presentation to the Town Council on Middletown Monday night, at least 95% of those who answered the survey found the police department courteous, helpful, knowledgeable, and professional. Now let me tell you right off, I do not believe these results at all myself. I mean, they're all right, I guess, with the police. 95% also reported the police department staff had an adequate response time. 99% said there was no ethnic or language barriers between the staff and the residents. For one thing, how are you going to know about the response time unless you've actually called them? Okay? And 99% there were no ethnic or language barriers. What does that mean? If we all speak English like we should in Middletown, of course there's not going to be any language barriers. Okay, here we go. Down a little bit on this. It says, of those who answered the survey, an overwhelming number own their own homes, 84%, and have lived in town for more than 10 years, 77%. 56% were women, 69% indicated they did not have children living in their home, and 80% were 50 years or older. The next highest reason for dealing with the police, 15%, was to call to report a crime or other complaint. 9% reported involvement in an accident, and 8% said they encountered the police as a result of a traffic stop. Delving into crime in Middletown. Okay, here we go. Respondents indicated the most significant concern for them was speeding, with 67% of respondents saying that it was a serious matter or one that needs attention. That was followed by alcohol and drug use, drug distribution, and traffic accidents. at 65, 53, 53% respectively. And while at least 97% of the residents said they feel their neighborhood is safe, well, myself, I don't feel my neighborhood is safe, because the buses from Providence just drop off criminal illegal aliens 200 feet from my house, and you don't know who these people are. So I don't feel that my neighborhood is really safe. At the same time, the survey showed that close to 25% said school violence was a quality of life issue that needs to be addressed. Now, how would these people even know? I mean, we have no school violence. See, this is a lead on to another thing I'll get to in 1 second here. The highest category among a list that included domestic violence, vandalism, crime prevention, and race relations. Yes, so school violence, they think, is a bigger issue than domestic violence. I doubt it. In response, Knight, who's a professor over at Salve Regina, said, in response, Knight said, those results indicated that the plan to expand, here we go, this is what they really want. The plan to expand the number of police resource officers in local schools from 1 to 3 is a good move that seems to be welcomed by a certain segment of the community. Now, this proposal that they have here for the police officers, this was put in response to the Sandy Hook shootings. And my feeling is you have a better chance of hitting the lottery than of somebody coming with a gun into Middletown, into one of their schools. The proposal was approved by the council in October 2013 in response to the Sandy Hook elementary school shootings in Connecticut 10 months earlier. A $250,000 federal law enforcement grant will help pay 75% of the cost of that program over the first 3 years. But what about after that? Do you think they're just going to drop it? With Middletown responsible for the remainder. Currently, Middletown Police have 1 school resource officer in the schools. Patrol Officer Kevin Faria. Town Administrator Sean J. Brown said it will be up to the town and police department to set on recommendations generated by the survey. Many who answered said they knew little about some of the police department outreach programs, such as the availability of the community room at the police headquarters, an online complaint form through the department's website. If you want to complain, wouldn't you rather talk to a person than go on a website? I mean, really. And vacant house checks. I didn't know we have any vacant house checks in Middletown. You know, everybody lives in a house. Oh, except the town council. They want to make mobile homes more like affordable housing. So these people just want to expand the police presence. How are we free as a people anymore? You know the national anthem? Land of the free, home of the brave. Home of the brave. We don't need police at our schools. There's no epidemic of school violence. Here we go, though. Here's a picture if you can see it. There we go. See this picture? Here's the caption. Middletown Patrol Officer Clifford McGregor talks with Arlene Call, Executive Director of the Middletown Senior Center, on Monday afternoon. McGregor visited the Senior Center, his new community policing assignment, to introduce himself to the staff and members. They're putting community police at the Senior Center. I mean, this goes beyond idiotic. This goes beyond retardation. I mean, it really does. You could get retards, actual retards, and run our government better than the people we have in it now. You really could. let's see what I got for mail today. Here we go. See this? Here we go. The 2014 Congressional Research Survey of Rhode Island voters on Obamacare. Well, let's just get rid of it. Don't be sending me surveys. You know? Here we go. The perfect legal storm. Champion attorney Larry Klayman joining forces with America's sheriffs, exposing Barack Obama's criminally forged birth certificate before Alabama Supreme Court and bring Obama to justice. Usurper Obama to be legally removed from office. What the big media isn't telling you. Well, I hope this is true, because he belongs in prison. Other stuff from the Heritage Foundation and stuff. Okay, let's see what this is I got from Judicial Watch. Let me see if they've got anything here from Judicial Watch, because no one's above the law, to say about our president. One thing, I do try and support Judicial Watch, which is quite hard for me, because I am the working poor, believe me. Dear Judicial Watch supporter, I am sincerely grateful for the generous commitment you've shown in underwriting our efforts to investigate, expose, and prosecute political corruption. Thankfully, you're not alone, not by a long shot. So that's nice. Let's see what they sent us here. Amnesty update. Introduction by Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton. Welcome. I am Tom Fitton, President of Judicial Watch. Judicial Watch is a conservative, nonpartisan educational foundation dedicated to transparency, integrity, and accountability in government, politics, and the law. Through educational activities, we advocate high standards of ethics and morality in our nation's public life, and seek to ensure that political and judicial officials are accountable to the American people. Judicial Watch does not endorse or oppose candidates for public office. We are here today to talk about the important issue of illegal immigration. Let's call these people what they are. They're criminals, huh? And efforts to address the issue, and obviously the establishment's effort to address the issue through large-scale amnesty. Because of massive law enforcement resistance by local, state, and federal politicians, these people, this is treasonous. This has gotten to the point where it's treasonous. Has been severely because of massive law enforcement resistance by local, state, and federal politicians, the rule of law in immigration matters has been severely undermined. Our border is not secure. Our president refuses to enforce the law and is unilaterally rewriting it. This guy belongs in prison. This is treasonous. I don't care if you're white, black, transgender, gay. If you're an American, this president is despicable. Our president refuses to enforce the law and is unilaterally rewriting it. State and local officials openly flout state and federal immigration laws. Oh, but if you have your radio turned up too much, you'll get a ticket. And if you disturb that poor little bird, you're going to get a ticket and be thrown in jail. But not if you break our number one law and break into our country. And politicians of both political parties would reward law-breaking illegal aliens, every last one, not just the hard cases, with legal status and citizenship. We don't need immigration reform. We need to cut off their benefits immediately. We don't have to deport them. Don't give them any more money. Let them deport themselves. Another thing, this push for them to raise the minimum wage. For one thing, where's limited government It's government telling every business what they should be paying. That's not government's job. How about if all these politicians, how about if they work for like what the federal minimum just was, like $7.25 an hour, because that's what they're worth. Fucking nothing. Please excuse my Spanish. These people are really despicable. Now here's what one person was saying about amnesty. Granting amnesty is like allowing someone who robs a bank to get away with it and keep the money as well. That's what amnesty really is. It's pardoning them for the crime and rewarding them with the objective of it. It breaks down our culture and our civilization, which is very true. The Senate bill would not just grant amnesty to all illegal aliens who are here. It would also double legal immigration and double the number of guest workers coming in to take American jobs. Of course, they want you to be dependent on the government. How about if these people actually do their job? If they're not going to do their job, get out. They have a sworn duty to uphold our Constitution and its laws. If they're not going to do that, impeach them, get them out of there, send a message. All right, I'm just I'm just too depressed right now. But I just want you people to know we don't have a country anymore. Excuse me. Middletown's a third world town. You know, I go down to Wendy's. I don't even know what languages they're speaking. I'm an outsider in my own town. The criminal illegal aliens devour my country before my face. Oh, but our big problem is school violence. And I guess the seniors, they're making too much at bingo. We have to police the senior centers. And with that, I'm going to leave us all. At least this winter has to be over soon because it's almost spring. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye for this edition of Ken Cordero, Cub Reporter. Thank you for tuning in.